across the Illawarra, South Coast and Southern Highlands. This is Win News.
Tonight, punters and patrons pour into clubs and pubs celebrating freedom. Back to work for thousands as the hospitality and tourism sectors reboot, and plans in the works for COVID booster shots for everyone. Good evening and welcome to Win News. I'm Amy Duggan. Also tonight, the missing piece in the Princes Highway puzzle opens under the radar. The multi-million-dollar Albion Park Rail bypass is complete and well ahead of schedule. Lines of people snaked out the doors of pubs, clubs, restaurants, bars, hairdressers and stores today as almost 4 months of lockdown came to an end. Businesses are pumping as residents were finally given an excuse not to stay home. Our reporter Samara Gardner is at the Illawarra Hotel. Samara, what is it like there?
Amy, the doors are open, the beers are flowing and food is being served on actual plates, little luxuries that we won't take for granted ever again. Pubgoers wasting no opportunity to return to their local watering hole. Here's what some of them had to say.
Oh, very exciting. It's been so nuts being stuck at home with their family and kids, and yeah, it's something to look forward to. So, no, it wasn't being with the wife and kids, but yeah, we just to get out again. It was fantastic.
Oh, it's fantastic just to get back in the rhythm of things and support the Illawarra and everything that's going on in Wollongong.
It's just 100 days after all of that. It just feels so good to be back here again.
What have you missed the most about coming to the pub?
These ones. Friends.
Oh, yeah. Outside of households. It's been amazing seeing them today.
This is obviously a major milestone for customers, but also for staff who are returning for work for the first time in almost 4 months. The Illawarra's publican Ryan Atchison joins us now. Ryan, what does today mean for your business?
Oh, it means everything. We finally get to reopen. We're energised. We're ready to take it on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And how have you found the reopening process with the new task of having to check vaccine passports?
Well, it's the same as checking IDs, checking every little bit you need to check to run a licensed venue. Just checking passports isn't that much of an imposition because you're already engaging with customers. It means you get a longer time to engage with them so you can make sure you can assess intox a lot better. So for us it hasn't been an issue at all and we don't expect it to be.
Thanks so much, Ryan. It's been so great to see it. It's absolutely buzzing here, Amy. This is the new normal for pubs, clubs, restaurants and bars. It'll take some getting used to, but for today, something to celebrate.
It certainly is. Thank you so much, Samara. And the celebrations aren't just being enjoyed by patrons, but also by the thousands of workers and their families who rely on the hospitality sector. Our reporter Jared Constable is standing by in the kitchen. And Jared, it looks like there's plenty happening.
That's right, Amy. Things certainly are starting to heat up here in the kitchen. We're at Dapto Leagues Club, where you can see that the kitchen is in full swing. It's great for business and great for local workforce. We're here with Executive Chef Donald. Donald, tell us, how does it make you feel to see your team back here in the kitchen?
Oh, we're all very excited to be back. Sitting at home for too long, doing nothing. And it's just great to be back in the kitchen cooking again.
And you've got some awesome offerings here as well. I mean, without the mask on, I'd be drooling all over the place. You've got some awesome offerings on the menu.
Yeah, we just started a new menu today for summer season. And yeah, we got a lot of people come through already. We probably get about 300 or so in tonight and probably 60 or 70 for lunch. So it's going to be busy.
That's awesome, mate. We're so happy that you're able to get back into work now. We will move around the corner and see CEO David Hiscox, who's also casting his eye over things here in the kitchen. David, tell us, what does it mean to have the club back up and firing after so long in the abyss?
It's absolutely fantastic and really happy. 148 staff was stood down for what's nearly 16 weeks. They come in last week for some training, back at work today. It's just fantastic to see their smiling faces. Been unbelievable. Great day.
And the response from the public has been overwhelming?
Really great start for the day. We've had a lot of feedback and stuff from our members through social media. Really excited about coming back to the mill. So I'm just going to say to all our members, if you want to make a booking this week, please do online. We've already got over 400 people booked on Saturday night, so don't miss out.
There you go, book in nice and early, and of course follow those health orders and maintain your safety when you do come here. There are a few rules to get used to, but there are staff at all venues that are more than willing to help.
Cooking up a storm in the kitchen. Thank you, Jared. Meanwhile, tourism providers aren't experiencing the same rush, with travellers put off by case numbers in the region. Caravan parks are booked out for Christmas, but are near empty as they reopened the gates today.
Travellers are permitted, but tourist parks still empty.
It's a very positive day today, but we're seeing it as a slow and steady, responsible reopening. We're not full, and we haven't had the weekends in October fill up.
Last year, Leisure Resort bounced back to almost full capacity hours after reopening. This time, bookings have been made for later in the year.
There's still cases in the community this year, whereas last year we were much more confident in the reopening. This year we need to be much more careful, much more cautious, more responsible and safe as we go about it.
That hesitancy is spreading beyond Greater Sydney. Regional parks have taken hundreds of calls a day for bookings once the state hits 80%.
I think people are still being quite cautious with cases not too far from us. So obviously Shellharbour's Greater Sydney, so yeah. Just a soft opening this week.
Wollongong City Council facilities remained closed today after serving another purpose through lockdown.
When you have to isolate and you can't do so at home, we've used some of those opportunities not only for COVID positive patients and things and people, but also at the same time for those who are family members.
A vaccine passport pilot program linking the Service New South Wales app with immunisation status is being trialled in some regions. In its absence elsewhere, the Premier says the benefits of reopening outweigh the risks.
We have to open up and we have to get people back into work. We have to have businesses open. For people's mental health so they can provide and support and put food on the table.
Kelly Royal, Win News.
As the state reopens for the fully vaccinated, authorities are warning COVID cases could spike as more people start moving around in the community more freely. Wollongong recorded 17 new cases today, Shellharbour 11 and 10 in the Shoalhaven. 3 were in the Windsor-Caribbee. There were also new cases in Batemans Bay, another in Bega. Both are under investigation. Cases at Tarrawanna IRT have now reached 15, with further testing of residents and employees taking place tomorrow. The aged care provider says strict infection control protocols are in place and residents are confined to their rooms. Some pharmacists say they're awaiting further clarity before administering booster shots to the public. Immunocompromised people have been eligible for a third shot since Friday, with a decision to expand the rollout to the general public expected later this month.
2 doses down and after a third, Robin Teveld is ready to roll up her sleeve once again.
Having had my first 2, AstraZeneca, and no side effects, it seems logical that a booster would seal the deal.
But she is not yet eligible for a third dose, ATAGI approving the extra jab for severely immunocompromised people only to give them proper protection.
Rather than think of this as a booster, this third vaccination allows them to get the same level of immunity as the average person that isn't taking immunosuppressive medication.
mRNA vaccines like Pfizer and Moderna are preferred for the third dose to be given 2 to 6 months after the second. Calls started coming in at pharmacies straight after Friday's announcement, but 3 days later, some details are still being ironed out.
The Pharmacy Programs Administrator gives us information with regards to how we record and supply vaccinations. So we're just waiting on some criteria coming through from them. I guess it's just to make sure that there's no grey areas and that everyone has a clear understanding.
Moderna has been available for less than a month, much of the demand is still for first doses. But as countries like the US and UK extend their rollout, there are concerns that Australia could continue to play catch-up when it comes to vaccination.
We need in Australia this time to be maybe a little quicker off the mark. But at the same time, we're very lucky that we can watch the other side of the world.
Kelly Royal, Win News.
After the break on Win News, the region's biggest road project opens for good. And if your pet has become increasingly disobedient in lockdown, you're not alone.